on our YouTube. All right, so having said that, I'll quickly go straight to the business of today. I wouldn't like to take much of our time at all. So we're just trying to admit some set of people. All right, so basically what we'll be doing this afternoon is focused on this 4 outline that I have scheduled here. So we want to basically look at what Ican is all about. For those of us that are joining for the first time, please try to mute your mic when joining. So basically we want to look at the body called Ican. What are they all about? What are their functions? So we'll quickly talk about that. We'll also look at the eligibility for Ican examination, who and who are eligible to write Ican examination. We'll also we'll talk about the requirements. What are the necessary requirements needed to register as a professional? And then how to go about this registration as a student of Ican, and also give you some hints about the examination structure of Ican. So basically, I know most of us must have heard about Ican, what they do and the likes. So I'll just talk about a few history about it. I've summarized it here. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria is a Nigerian professional accounting body. It is one of the 2 professional accounting associations we have in Nigeria. The other one is ANAN. So Ican is a body that regulates accounting profession in Nigeria. Ican is a body that regulates accounting profession in Nigeria, and the institute was established in September 1st, 1965. September 1st, 1965. And the mission of this great institute is to produce world-class chartered accountants that regulate and continuously improve their ethical standard and technical competence in the public space. So one of the major goals of Ican is to raise professional chartered accountants that would be able to solve problems in the economy, problems relating to financial activities. So that is one of the mission of this great institute. And currently, we have close to 38,000 public accountants working in different sectors in the economy. And what are the duties of this great institute? Number 1 duties of Ican is to determine what level of knowledge and skills that are required for those requiring or wanting to join the profession. So Ican is the one saddled with the responsibility of determining what is needed for you to join the institute. Another function that I have highlighted here by this great institute is to ensure that, according to the Act, registered accountants are entitled to practice. So before you can practice as an accountant, you must be qualified. That is why you see an acronym called ACA at the back of some people. We call them Associate Chartered Accountants. So anybody you see having that acronym has been given that mantle to practice by Ican. So such a person can work and practice as an accountant. And lastly, the institute also ensures that through the council, every other function that has been stipulated by them are being followed thoroughly. So if you want to know more about the function of Ican, you can go to their website. Their website is always accessible. You can read about Ican and their major function. But these are just the little responsibility that the institute currently works with. So who is eligible for Ican certification? You know, ICAN has made it possible for, regardless of your class of degree. So if you are here, you are coming from a science background, you are coming from an art background, you are a lawyer, you are an engineer, you just want to become a chartered accountant, you just love the profession, you just want to have that acronym at the back of your name. You want them to be calling you an associate chartered accountant, a fellow chartered accountant. ICAN has not restricted this profession from anybody. So that means that irrespective of your discipline, you can become a chartered accountant. However, there are certain qualifications that you must have. There are certain requirements that you must have before you can register as a student. Number one is that you must have your BSc certificate, your BSc, your HND, or an OND certificate from a recognized institute in Nigeria. That's one of the major criteria. So even though the body is open to everybody, you must have this. And if you don't have this, the other thing you can also have that can give you the opportunity to become a chartered accountant is your O-level result. So for those of us that are coming from ATS, you are coming from ATWA, you know, with your O-level result, you can become an AAT holder. And then from an AAT holder, you can apply as a professional member. You know, so those are the two major requirements: your BSc certificate, your OND or HND certificate, and then your O-level certificate. With this certificate in your hand, you can apply for ICAN studentship. You know, so having said that, I'll quickly move to what are the requirements. So majorly, like I said, there are many other requirements that is needed of you. But the most important for any student wanting to become an associate chartered accountant, what you must have is your university certificate or your HND certificate. If you want to register as a professional student, you must have your university certificate and or your HND certificate. And also, there are other qualifications that has been approved by the council that it might not necessarily be university or HND certificate. There are other certificates that has been approved by the council. So if you are opportune to have some of those certificates, you can also apply for ICAN examination. So you can check any of these approved qualification on ICAN website. It's always there and it's always updated every year. So you can check it, and peradventure you don't have your BSc, you don't have HND, but you also want to apply. If you have any of these certificates approved by the council, you can apply for ICAN registration. So what are the basic steps to apply? It's very, very simple. To apply for ICAN exam is very simple. So I will start from the scratch for those of us that are coming from the foundation level. For those who have not even, you know, tasted or you've not done anything at all, the first thing you need to do is that you need to register as a student member. So if you are registering as a student member, the qualification that can warrant you to register as a student member or professional student member is either you have your AAT certificate. Your AAT certificate is equivalent to your BSc certificate. So it's either you have that. If you have your AAT certificate or any other certificate that you have, the first thing you need to do is first of all register as a student member. Registering as a student member will enable ICAN to have you on their portal. Every student member has a registration number. That registration number is your identity. When it comes to ICAN, anything ICAN, your registration number is your identity. So that registration number is what you are going to use to apply for anything until you become a chartered accountant. It is until you become a chartered accountant that the registration number will now be converted to a professional membership number. But before that, you need to register as a student. And how do you do that? The steps is very simple. You go to the bank or you make an online payment of 8,000 naira, as you can see on my screen. Very simple. You make an online payment of 8,000. I think it has been updated now, if I'm not mistaken, but I think it's 8,000 naira plus 300 naira bank charge. And then you'll be, if you are making the payment from the bank, you'll be given an e-transact receipt. You'll be given an e-transact receipt. So that e-transact receipt, there is a website on the paper. That website is what you will log into to complete the process. So after you have completed the process, you are going to upload your document. So most of the time, the required document, although ICAN do not usually specify the document to upload, but most of the time, the required document is your degree certificate, your WAEC results, your birth certificate, your local government certificate, and any other certificate that is necessary. But if you have these 4 certificates that I've just mentioned, you can upload it. And then any other certificate, any other form, anything you fill on that portal that requires certificate, that requires you to show an evidence, you also need to upload such certificate. So once you submit, it will take at least 2 weeks for that registration to be processed. So if your registration has been approved, a student number will be sent to you as an email or as a text message. So once you get that student number, then you can now proceed to every other step. So if you are coming with accounting degree, either from your university or from your HND or from your polytechnic, for accounting graduates, exception has been provided for you guys. So that means that instead of you to start from foundation, just like every other student, instead of you to start from foundation, ICAN believes that most of the courses in foundation you have been taught in the university as an accounting graduate. ICAN believe that you've been taught most of those courses in your university or polytechnic. So you are exempted from foundation. So you are going to pay what we call an exemption fee. I think that currently that amount is 80-something thousand. It's 80,000 plus, so you are going to pay an exemption fee. So that exemption fee is to take you away from foundation level to your skills level. So you are going to start from skills level as an accounting graduate. And how do you go about the exemption processes? The same way you processed your student registration, that's the same way you are also going to do this. You go to the bank, either you go to the bank to make your payment, or you can make your payment online. Once you make your payment online, a receipt, a transaction reference, and a receipt number will be generated to you. But if you are making your payment from the bank, you'll be given an e-transact receipt. So that e-transact receipt is what you will take to the portal to register. So once you do that registration, you fill in the form, you submit your document and every other important document. So once you submit your document, it will take 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, you are going to check your portal. A portal would have been created for you at the point where registration number was created for you. So you will check your portal often, because that portal, before the exemption, you are going to be seeing foundation papers in your portal. But if the exemption has been approved, if you check your portal, you are going to discover that you've been moved to the skills level. That is for an accounting graduate. But graduate from other discipline, you are going to start from foundation. But there are some exceptions given to students who are coming from banking and finance, business administration, and some other discipline. Sometimes ICAN is going to exempt you from 1 or 2 papers in foundation. You might be exempted from 1 or 2 papers in foundation, depending on your discipline. So, but note that you are starting from foundation if you are not an accounting graduate. So the same step is the same way you are going to claim your exemption. The way you paid for your registration, that's the same way you claim your exemption. You also do the same step for examination. You do the same step for induction. But induction is a bit different because you are going to require the services of a chartered accountant to help you certify your document. So that's the same process you are going to follow. So having said that, I'll move straight to my next slide here. Please, if you have questions, just spend it at the end of the section. You can ask your question. I won't take more than 10 minutes. We are going to finish the section. Then you can ask question that you feel you want to ask. So I'll quickly talk about, so that is all about the registration, exemption, examination, and induction. But for most of you here, like I said, if you have any processes to follow, the same process you followed, that's the same process you have to follow for any other thing you want to make payments according to what ICAN has stipulated. So I'll quickly talk about the examination structure, the examination structure of ICAN. So these are the things we'll be looking at: the structure of ICAN examination, the strategies to deploy during examination, and also the major hint that will also help you to pass your exam. For those of us that are preparing for May Diet, this hint will be very, very important and useful for you. So the structure of ICAN is majorly divided into 3. We have the foundation level, we have the skills level, and we have the professional level. The foundation level, this is for those who are coming from any other discipline aside an accounting graduate. Foundation level is written by anyone who is coming from any other discipline, whether you are coming from science, you are coming from arts, you are coming from commercial, but it's not accounting. You are to start from foundation level. The skills level is mostly for those who are coming as an accounting graduate and those who have passed foundation level. There are also some for masters. If you have a master's qualification, PhD qualification, master's qualification also you have to start from skills, but PhD qualification you have to start from professional. So you can check this requirement. You can check this requirement from ICAN website as updated frequently. So you are going to see the exception because ICAN can make changes to this syllabus every diet. Changes can be made to this syllabus every diet. The professional level is the final level of ICAN examination. Once you pass the professional level, you are automatically a chartered accountant in the making. What is just left for you is to process your induction, and then you are now an ACA. So let me talk about the foundation level very quickly. The foundation level consists of 4 papers. We majorly have 4 papers in foundation level. The first one is financial accounting. We call it FA, financial accounting. The second one is business management and finance. We call it BMF. The third one is business law. That's BL. And then the last one is management information system, MI. So each paper consists of 2 sections. There are 2 sections in every ICAN exam you are writing. There are 2 sections in every ICAN exam you are writing. Okay. A is a compulsory multiple choice question. And this is because it is foundation. It is only in foundation that you have multiple choice question. You know what multiple choice is? That's where you have option A, option B, option C, and also option D. Or you can have fill in the gap, you know, so whichever one that is being set for you. So that is compulsory for you to do. And each of those questions is 20 marks. Each one carries 1 mark. So 20 questions, 20 marks. Section B is an open-minded question. An open-minded questions, what are the questions that you can see in an open-minded question? So you can see scenario-based question, you can see an essay, you can see computational question, but each of them is 20 marks. So you are going to ask, you'll be asked to answer any 4. You'll be asked to answer any 4. So the pass mark for Ican is 50 marks. Out of 100, the total marks for each exam is 100 marks. But the pass mark for you to pass a particular course is 50 marks. But you can get 100 marks to become the best student in every course. I can reward students for their diligence. So if you are the best student in a particular course, and how are you identified as a best student? Number 1 is that you must be writing that exam for the first time. That must be the first time you are writing that exam. It's not that you've written the exam before. Maybe you had reference, then you now come back to it. Then you now have the highest. You will not be recognized as the best student. But if you are writing that exam for the first time and you've scored the highest, Ican will reward you for your diligence. So the pass mark is 50. If you don't want to become the best, but you just want to pass, let my people go. All you just need is 50. But I do encourage my students to not just pass, but to pass excellently. It is better for you to aim at getting 100 or aim at getting 90, 70, 80, rather than just looking at passing, you know, because the more your mind works with the way you read is projected by your mind. So whatever you project to your mind, if you tell yourself that you want to become the best in this course, your brain will work at that level. But if you just tell yourself that you want to pass, you might just feel relaxed, and sometimes it is not a good approach to Ican exam. So that is that. And then the exam is usually 3 hours, 15 minutes. The exam is usually 3 hours, 15 minutes. It is given for you to read and assimilate the questions. So you read and assimilate the questions within the space of 15 minutes. The 3 hours, you are expected to solve the required question. And then all right. So this information was passed, I think 2 diets ago by Ican, that they are going to convert the foundation papers to computer-based. But that has not been implemented yet. But just have it at the back of your mind that it is one of the ongoing discussions by the council to migrate papers from foundation to be computer-based. So if it is computer-based, it's still the same thing. All you just need to do is to make sure that you are familiar with computer, how to operate computers, which I believe would be, you would at least, we are in an era where almost everybody is technological inclined, you know. So that is that about the foundation level. Please, can everybody still hear me loud and clear? Can you all hear me? Please confirm you can all hear me loud and clear. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. So I'll move to the next paper, which is what we call skills level. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So the skills level consists of 6 papers. Consists of 6 papers. That is, for those entering skills level, it consists of 6 papers. You are expected to write 6 papers. What are those papers? Financial reporting, we call it FR. Audit and assurance, we call it AA. Tax, performance management, we call it PM. Corporate strategy management and ethics, CSME. Then public sector accounting and finance, that is PSAF. Now, for those of us who are coming from foundation, that is, those of us who passed all the papers from foundation, then you are coming to skills. You are going to be writing 6 papers. Nothing is exempted for you. You'll be writing 6 papers. But for an accounting graduate is exempted of 1 paper out of these 6. And that paper is audit and assurance, AA. So for an accounting graduate that you are just starting the skills level exam, you are not writing AA, audit and assurance. You'll be writing the other 5. You will not be writing AA. That is for an accounting graduate. But for those of us who are not an accounting graduate, you have to write 6 papers. So each of the papers consists of 3 sections. Each of the papers consists of 3 sections. So we have section A. Section A is the compulsory question aspect. Section A is the compulsory question aspect. So you are to answer that section. It's very important. It's very, very important. Now, section B is open-minded question. You'll be given 3 questions. You'll be asked to answer 2. On no occasion must you answer the 3 questions in any section. You are expected to answer only 2 questions out of 3 under section B. Same thing applies to section C. You are expected to answer 2 questions out of 3. So, like I said, section A is compulsory, and that is 30 marks, but I think it has been updated now to 40 marks. So Ican can decide to change it. It can be 30, it can be 40, but note that section A is always compulsory, but as at the last time I checked, it is 30 marks, but it might be updated to 40 marks. So each of the other questions in section B, it is 20 marks each. So that is 40 marks in section B, 30 marks in section A, that is 70. And then section C is 15 marks each. So addition of the 15 marks, that is 30 marks, a total of 100 marks. So your pass mark is 50, but if you want to become the best, which I always encourage students to always become the best, you can aim at scoring 90 over 100. 100 over 100 is very, very possible and achievable. So the last one I have here is the professional level. This is the final level of Ican examination. So in the final level of Ican examination, you are expected to write only 5 papers, except for students who are coming with a PhD. We have some students who are already a PhD holder, and then they want to write Ican examination. They are going to be exempted for 1 or 2 papers, depending on your discipline. And other qualification as approved by the council can also enjoy certain benefits or exemption from this level. But if you are coming from foundation to skills and then skills to professional, you are expected to write 5 papers. And what are the papers? We call it advanced tax, that's number 1. Strategic financial management, SFM. Corporate reporting, CR. Advanced audit and assurance, AAA. And then case study. So these are the 5 papers that you are expected to write at this level. And the same goes to these papers, or this stage has 3 sections. Section A, Section B, and Section C. Your Section A is usually the compulsory question, and that carries 30 marks. So you must answer Section A. It's very, very compulsory for all students. Section B is an open-minded question, wherein you'll be given 3 questions and then you'll be asked to answer only 2. So each of those questions carries 20 marks. So together you have 40 marks, plus Section A, that is 70 marks. Then your Section C is also an open-minded question. You have 3 questions in total. You answer 2 questions. And each of these questions is 15 marks. So altogether, you have 100 marks in total. Now, I put an int here. I put an int here that says, to pass this level, I can expect or believes that you are a, let me say, semi-chartered accountant. Semi-chartered accountant. And so it is expected of you that at this stage, you have experience, you have exposure, and as such, you should be opening to the current happenings in the economy. If you are writing Ican exam, you must be very, very familiar with the things that are happening in Nigeria. You must not say, oh, you know, a lot of us can say, oh, it's none of my business. Whatever is happening in politics, whatever is happening in the economy, the monetary policy by CBN, the macro, the micro, everything, the policies regulating Nigeria is none of my business. You know, so I don't care about what is going on. You know, at this level, it is expected of you that you should know what is happening in the environment. And it's not about knowing what is happening. It is also about you being able to provide solution, being able to provide solution to the current happenings in the country. Because as a chartered accountant, one of the things that is expected of you is that you become a problem solver. You become a problem solver. And it is not only anywhere you find yourself, you should be a problem solver. And how do you become a problem solver if you don't know what the problem actually is? You cannot be an efficient problem solver if you don't know what the problem is. So at this level, you should have practical exposure. You should know about the current happenings in the market. And then you should understand basic principles from skills. From your skills level, it is very, very important that you digest and fully understand what you were taught in skills level, because this level is just an advanced level. It's an advanced level. So everything you know while writing skill exam will be very, very useful for you at this level. So it's very, very important for you to have basic understanding of key principles in skills, and then you study more of past questions. You know, so that is how you scale through the professional level. So what are the strategies to employ during examination? I usually tell my students, Ican is very simple to pass. Ican is not hard at all. The courses that you are writing, they are very, very simple to pass. All what is just needed is you being able to know the key principles. You know, simple instruction matters a lot. Simple instruction matters a lot. You know, so it is expected of you to learn how to obey simple instruction. So I bring out these 5 do's. These are the things you should do in the exam. Number one, all questions in the requirement must be answered. For those of us preparing for May Diet 2024, please and please do not leave any question unanswered. Never go to the exam with the mindset of, oh, I don't know this part. I don't know question 2. And then I will not answer it. No, do not answer. Do not leave any question unanswered. Ensure you answer all questions as prescribed by the examiner. Compulsory question, make sure you answer it. The 2 questions you are asked to do, make sure you answer it. Then the 2 questions you are asked to do in the other section, make sure you answer it. That's one. It's very, very important. The second do's, so the second thing you should do in the exam is always answer the question you know first. Compulsory question doesn't mean that is what you should do first. Do not do compulsory question first. If you are going for Ican examination, always answer the question you know first. If there are some questions you know in the exam, make sure that is the first thing you do. What does that do to you? Number 1, it builds your confidence level in the exam. It builds your confidence level. It makes you relaxed. It makes you relaxed for you to attempt every other question. Because imagine starting with a question that you don't know. Starting with a question that you are not sure, but you just want to try. Or because they say it's compulsory question. No. Doing that will only unstable you for the exam. You'll be under pressure, and then pressure can make you forget everything that you've read before coming for that exam. So always ensure that you do questions that you know first. And then answer compulsory question last. Compulsory question, during my time, I made sure that compulsory question never bothers me until I have finished every other thing. Compulsory question is the last thing or in between. If it is something you know, if compulsory question is the first thing you know, you can answer it. That is, you are so sure of that compulsory question, you really know it, and you are so sure that it won't unstable you for the exam, you can go ahead and answer it. But if you are not sure of compulsory question, make sure that is the last thing you do in the exam. Make sure that is the last thing you do in the exam. Another thing is that you should be confident. Be confident of yourself. Don't be afraid of Ican. Ican is not here to bite. Ican wants to promote. Ican wants to build. Ican is not willing to fail students. Don't be afraid of courses. Don't be afraid of things that you've heard from your friends, from your colleague. Oh, this paper is difficult. This paper is difficult. This paper is difficult to pass. If you do this paper, if you never write it 4 times, 5 times, if you have not written it 10 times, you cannot pass it. That's a lie. No paper is difficult. What is expected of you is what you should do. Understanding the key strategy, come for tutorial lessons, be confident of what you know. Be confident of what you know. Don't be afraid, because the beginning of failure starts from you being afraid of the exam. Once you are afraid of the exam, you are likely going to fail, because fear can take away everything that you know, and then you just get to the exam hall and then you'll be blank. So don't be afraid. Be confident of yourself. The last thing is practice more of past questions during the final 2 weeks to the exam. I don't expect students to be reading during the final 2 weeks. The final 2 weeks is meant for revision. You should have done your reading from now. And that is why we are starting our tutorial center next week. Our Ican online lecture is starting next week. I expect students to register for that online lecture, where we are going to put you through and guide you on how to pass Ican examination. Ican is not difficult, but some students like late hour preparation. Some students just like putting themselves under immense pressure. You know, the final 2 weeks is meant for you to revise. And that is the point where you begin to study more of past questions, because the truth is that Ican adopts past questions in these present days. And that past question can come from previous diet or from ACCA past question, because I can also take question from ACCA and some other key textbook that I would also be sharing with us based on that. You know, so but the best time to always start your preparation is now. I don't enjoy students to do cramming method going for Ican. You can't even cram. You can't cram going to Ican exam. You can't cram going to Ican exam. So start your preparation now so that when it is close towards exam, you won't put yourself under pressure. You won't put yourself under unnecessary stress. You know, 4 months is not far from now. Your exam is just 4 months away. Your exam, please, can you all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so your exam is, okay, thank you very much. So your exam is 4 months and some weeks away. So the best time that you can start is to start now. The best time you can start is to start now. So lastly, I'm going to talk about the things you shouldn't do in the exam. Number one is that do not focus on one question for too long. Do not focus on one question for too long. Once you notice that a particular question, you don't know it, do not stay on that question. Do not stay on that question. And like I said before, do not leave any question unanswered. Do not leave any question unanswered. And then lastly, do not answer compulsory question first. If you don't know it, please make sure that is the last thing you answer. If you know it and you know within yourself that you are not guessing, this compulsory question, oh, I'm not guessing it at all. I know it, hands down. You can do it to build your confidence level. But if you don't know it or you are guessing it, please make sure that is the last thing you are going to answer. So on this note, I want to quickly talk about, I've come to the end of this section, but the next section we want to talk about is about our Ican online lecture. Our Ican online lecture is very, very flexible. And we have, for the past years, from the past diet, we have recorded massive pass rate from students. And I'm pretty sure some of us must have seen testimonies from our previous students. Our tutors are well seasoned. They are versed in this field. They are well positioned to guide you on how to go in passing your exam at one sitting. We have experienced tutors who are going to guide you on how to pass Ican examination at one sitting. So you don't necessarily, for those of us who work on Saturdays, you work on weekends, you work during lecture hours, our classes are recorded. Our live classes are recorded. So that means that every student who paid for our lecture, you get the recording of every class that is being held every week. So immediately after the class, we share the recording to you. So at your own convenience, when you know that you are less busy, you can always go back to watch the video lecture. And aside that, you can ask questions during the class and even after the class. Your tutor will mentor you. Your tutor is your mentor for that class because every classes has tutor in the same group. You can always ask your tutor questions, he would answer. You can always interact with your students because we are going to place everybody in different class groups. So you have opportunity to meet with your colleague, interact with your colleague, share and brainstorm with your colleague. That would also help you and then put you on the right path. So our tutor, like I said, very experienced. Our tutorial center is flexible. The time is conducive for everybody. We ensure that even though you miss the class, the video lecture is always available. And don't forget, our online lesson is also very, very affordable. It is very, very affordable. You don't need to pass through the stress of, transport. The transport cost has been well taken care of. The stress that you need to go through, going from one bus, jumping from one place to another, has been taken care of. Very, very affordable for you. You can write it without excusing yourself, and your payment covers the lecture all through the diet. The diet starts from January 13th till the end of April. So your payment covers approximately 4 months plus. So you are not making any other payment. You are not making any other payment aside the payment that you have made for the class. And you are going to attend lectures throughout this period. So it's an opportunity for you to prepare. Like I told you, our classes are well simplified. Our classes are well simplified. We ensure that students understand the key concept, because passing Ican, what you just need is to understand the little technicality behind it, and that is all. Because there are one or two technical questions, one or two technicalities that you might come across when preparing for this exam. But we are going to ensure that those technicalities, you understand them perfectly. And when you see them in past questions or any question that you are treating, you can always provide answers to such questions. And also another thing, like I said, the payment plan is also flexible. The payment plan is also flexible. We allow installment payment of 70-30. The payment plan is very flexible, and then we allow installment payment. So I want to enjoin each and every one of us, or some of us that we know that they are not here, but they are ready to start with us. Kindly ensure that you register with me after this section. I'm going to drop my WhatsApp number on the chat box now. You can always reach out to me. I know some of you have my details already, but for some of us who doesn't have my details, or you want to send it across to your friends or your colleague, this is my WhatsApp number. You can always reach out to me here, and then we'll talk better. So the lecture is starting next week Saturday. The timetable is ready. Our tutors are ready. They are on ground already, waiting for us to start the lecture. So I want to see, enjoin and encourage each and every one of us. Tell somebody to tell somebody that Elite Accounting Professional Service online lecture is currently, registration is currently ongoing. So with this, I have come to the end of this presentation. So I'm going to give room for question. So if you have question, please, you can just raise up your hand so that we won't have a rousy class. Once I see your hands up, I'm going to call you to ask your question. So if you have question, please, kindly raise your hand so I can call you. So I've dropped my WhatsApp number on the chat box. If you have questions, kindly raise your hand, and then let me call you. So question can range from anything you want to know about Ican, or you want to ask questions relating to our online lecture. Question from anyone? Okay, so I can see some question in the chat box. Let me take the question in the chat box. Okay. Martins, are you asking a question? Okay. Okay, that's not a question. I thought that was a question. So is there any question very quickly before we call it a day?
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Okay, good evening.
Okay, and my question is, after paying for the lectures, does it cover mock and revision, or later on you pay for extra fee for mock and revision? Then that's one. Then secondly, the videos, are they downloadable when you send them, or we still have to use our data to watch them every time we want to access it?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So let me start with the first one. The payment covers only the lecture period. It doesn't cover revision section. It covers only the lecture period. So, but what we do during revision is that our students who have registered with us, we give them 60% discount from the revision price. So we give them 60% discount from the revision price. Your payment now only covers from now till the end of the lecture, but it doesn't cover revision section. Then the second question on downloadable videos, very, very well. The videos are downloadable. Once we send them to you, you can download it on your system and watch it offline. You don't need to, log in with your network or data to have access to it. Once you log in the first time, ensure you download it. If you are using your phone, you can download it on your phone. If you are using your laptop, you can also download it on your laptop. And also, let me just say this before I forget. We also assist students to process Ican examination, registration, exemption, and also induction. So if you need any of our assistance in terms of we assisting you in registering on your behalf, you give us your details and then we carry out these processes for you. So if you need assistance or you know somebody that needs someone to help them register any of these processes on Ican portal and to do the necessary information gathering, you can always reach out to me and we'll get that done for you. So I hope I have answered your question. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, you did, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so I can see the ends of Michael. Yes, Michael, I can see your hand. Kindly go ahead with your question. Okay, so please, let's mute. Okay, so I have some questions here. I have some questions here in the group that says, let me read from the first one. It says, I'd like to know how to register as a student for professional skills level. Okay, I've mentioned that before, but let me quickly recap. So I said to register as a student, you make your payment of 8,300 Naira. Either you make it an online payment or you go to the bank to make your payment. If you are going to the bank, you'll be given an e-transact slip. That e-transact slip is what you would take to the online portal. So you fill your details on the platform, upload necessary documents, and then you submit. So once you submit, before now, we usually take the hard copy. We usually take the hard copy to Ican office. But I think now the processes has been changed. You don't need to take the hard copy to the office. But if it is expected of you to take the hard copy to Ican office, it will be stated after the completion of your registration. So after you submit, you are going to see a little notification beneath your application. You are going to see it. If they want you to take the hard copy to their office, it will be stated there. But if not, it won't be stated. So after you follow that process and you have submitted, within 2 weeks, if your application is successful, a student registration number would be sent to you. So that registration number is what you are going to use to process. If you are an accounting graduate that want to apply for induction, for exemption, that registration number is what you are going to use. And also to want to apply for examination, that registration number is what you are going to use. So that becomes your identity. That becomes your identity on anything relating to Ican before you become a chartered accountant. Once you become a chartered accountant, your registration number will be converted to a membership number. So your membership number now becomes your new identity, but your student registration number becomes your identity once it is approved. So that is how you go about the process of registering to become a skills student. Then the other question I have here, I hope that answers the question of Mayowa. And then the other question I have here says that, how much is the lecture fees on professional level and what are the recommended textbook? How much is the lecture fee for professional level and what are the recommended textbook? So for the professional fee, if you are the one asking this question, please, you can chat me up on WhatsApp. I'm going to share with you the lecture fee structure. I have dropped my number on the group chat. You can reach out to me on this number on WhatsApp. I'm going to share with you the lecture fee. And then for recommended textbooks, so we have a lot of recommended textbooks, most especially for those of us who are preparing for or who are writing corporate reporting, financial reporting. You can use Teach Yourself group account. You can use Teach Yourself group account, and then you can also use Teach Yourself IFRS. For those of us who are preparing for performance management, strategic financial management, you can use this textbook by Omoleyiwa, Strategic Financial Management by Omoleyiwa. Omoleyiwa is very, very recommended. It's also one of the council of the institute. So you can, if you can lay your hands on such textbook, it will be very, very good for you. And some other recommended textbook, but I will recommend Omoleyiwa for you if you are preparing for strategic financial management. And not all courses requires extra textbook. For example, courses like audit, case study, public sector, and finance, you don't need extra textbook for that. Ican material is sufficient for you to pass that. The one that requires extra textbook, we recommend it for our students, but the one that doesn't, we don't recommend, because the truth is that, having too much textbook or multiple textbook with you can also serve as a form of distraction if you don't know how to manage it. Having too many textbooks can serve as a form of distraction if you don't know how to manage it. So we usually recommend that students should start with a textbook that is very, very simple to understand. Start with textbook that you can get the basic, you can get the foundation of that particular course. Once you are well grounded in that course, you can now move to other textbooks. But the mistake that most students usually make is that you don't know a particular topic, and the next thing is you go to some almighty textbook that you find it difficult to understand the terminologies that the author is using. That might that might unstable you, and you might think you are not getting it right. That is because you are not well grounded on the principle, on the basic that is supposed to guide you on that. So having too many textbooks also can serve as a form of distraction if you don't know how to manage it. But there are some recommended textbooks that we will recommend for you. Like I said, Omoleyiwa, Teach Yourself Group Accounts, IFRS, and some others that will also guide you on the particular course you want to write. So I hope I've answered the question of the person that asked that question in Phoenix. I can't see your name, so, okay, somebody said, thank you for the insight. Please, I would like to know how to go about the registration for skills level. So I think I just mentioned that. I think I've answered that question not quite long. I've answered that question not quite long. So the next question I have here says that what is the preferred combination course for skills? I have 6 to write. I have 6 papers to write because of my discipline. Okay, so like I said, if you are writing, the person that asked this question, if you are writing all the papers, which for you to ask this question, definitely you are not writing all the papers, you want to split it. So if you want to split it, I would recommend for you, let me assume you are writing 3 these diets, and you are also writing 3 the next diet. So what I would recommend for you is that I would recommend FR, tax, and audit. FR, tax, and audit. FR, tax, and audit. FR, tax, and audit. Then after that one, you can now go for PM, PSAV, and CSME. PM, PSAV, and CSME. I don't know if the person got my combination, but let me just type it out here. If you are breaking it into 3, you write FR, tax, and then audit. This is the first 3 you should write. Then you go for PM, PSAV, and CSME. This is the other 3 that you should write. This is what I do recommend for my students. This is what I do recommend for my students. So I hope I have answered the question of the person that asked that. Okay, so I can see another question here that says, please, does the payment for online lecture cover till May Diet 2024? Yes. Our payment covers throughout all the diets. So once you make payment and you join the class, you are not making any other payment till the exam. Once you make payment and you join the class, you are not making any other payment till the exam. That is very, very affordable. Unlike physical lecture, where you have to pay ×3 or ×4 of that particular payment. So that's why I said our fee is very, very affordable for the whole diet. Come on, is very, very affordable. So you are not making any other payment after that. Once you join the particular class you are paying for. The next question I have here says that I will equally want to know if your physical study center is located in Lagos. Where in Lagos? Yes, we have a physical lecture center in Lagos, but we are not using that for Ican physical lecture. We only use that for other trainings, and it is located at Ikate, Lekki. I don't know if some of us are familiar with, I know we are all familiar with Lekki But towards Ekate Igbara, you are going to see Elite Institute. But we don't have physical Ican lecture. We only run an online lecture. We run an online lecture, and most of our trainings also are online. So apart from Ican lectures, we also run accounting trainings. We run trainings ranging from accounting, tax, and audit. Trainings that will build professionals at their workplace. If you have challenges relating to any particular task, we run trainings in relation to that. So we do an online lecture and not a physical lecture. So I hope that answers the question of Vivo. I can't see your name, but I can see you logged in with Vivo. All right. So I have another question here that says, sir, is it possible for me to register for the online videos alone due to the tight schedule of my job? I might not be able to meet up with the class. Secondly, can you please run through the courses for skills level again? All right. I will do that. Now, I have a student, one of our students last diet, she scored 93 in FR. She scored 93 in FR. I'm very sure some of us would have seen that testimony, but I'm going to send a link where you can log in to check all our testimonies. And by the way, you can always watch our videos on YouTube. You can check our YouTube platform. You are going to see our lecture videos. If you want to see how our lecture runs, you can check it on YouTube. You can check our YouTube channel at Elite Accounting Professional Service. Just search for it. It's going to come out. You can watch our classes there so you to see how we run. Even calculation courses, we handle them effectively. Theoretical courses, we handle them effectively. So back to what I was saying. Deborah scored 93 in FR, and she didn't attend the live classes. Why? The reason is because of this same question that this person asked, that Michael just asked. She's somebody that she based on the nature of her work, she goes to work weekends, so she doesn't have time to attend lecture. So she only subscribed for the video. So the video is like you are subscribing for lecture. So whether you are present or not, the videos will be sent to you. Once you make payment for the particular course that you want, whether you are in the live classes or you are not in the live class, the video will be sent to you. So she wasn't able to attend the live classes, but she gets the video of every classes that was held every week. And that was all. That was all what she used to prepare for her exam. And to the glory of God, the end of it is a testimony. She scored 93 and she only watched our video. So that shows that our videos are well simplified. Very, very well simplified for you to understand anything you need to know about a particular course that you are writing. Very, very well simplified. If there is anything you don't understand, the lecturer will definitely go back and make it clearer to you. So yes, to your question, you can subscribe, make your payment for the class, whether you are present or not, in your own convenience, at your own leisure time where you are available. You can go back and watch the video, and everything that was done in that class, you are going to be carried along. And the other question that you asked says that, can you run through the courses for skills level? Very simple. The courses for skills level is 6. Number 1, we have financial reporting. We call it FR. The next one is corporate strategy management and ethics. We call it CSME. PSAF, public sector accounting and finance. That is PSAF. That is 3. performance management, PM, that is 4, audit, that is 5, and then tax, that is 6. So you have 6 courses in skills level. So I can see a question that says, what are the procedure to register for the online classes? So the procedure is, once you chat me on WhatsApp and then you let me know the courses you are registering for, I'm going to send you a form, our registration form. So you are going to fill the registration form. Once we receive your biodata, you are going to make payment for the required class that you are writing in the exam. So once you make payment and payment has been confirmed, you will be added to the lecture group for the particular payment that you made. So in that lecture group, that is where you are going to see your tutor. That is where you are going to see your other colleagues. That is where the link for each classes every weekend will be sent to. So the video, the link for every classes will be sent to, the link for every classes that you paid for will be sent to the lecture group. So it is on that lecture group that you are going to get access to the class. So I hope that answers the question of Sunday. So I have a question from Raji Omotayo that says, thank you for the presentation, sir. Please, have there been a change in the syllabus for any courses at the professional level? As far as I'm concerned, there is no change as at today. As at today that we are organizing this training, there is no change to the syllabus. The syllabus as at last diet, which has incorporated the Finance Act, is still what is in place. So as far as May Diet 2024 is concerned, and as far as we are talking now, there is no change to the syllabus. There might be a change tomorrow, there might be a change after this class, there might be a change tomorrow. Ican can release anything. But as far as I'm concerned, and as we are talking now, there is no change to the syllabus. So I hope that answers the question of Raji Omotayo. And by the way, Raji is also one of our students that passed through the skills level, and is currently in the professional level. So I can see you, Raji Omotayo. And having said that, so I think I don't have any other question here. So the question that I have here lastly is, how do I subscribe for the videos? So like I said, reach out to me on WhatsApp. This is my WhatsApp number. If you know you don't have it, reach out to me on WhatsApp and then tell me the classes that you want to subscribe for. So I'm going to send you the registration form. You fill the registration form and you are good to go. Videos will be sent to your registered email address. So I don't think I have any other question here. We have touched all the questions that we have here. So please, don't forget that the lecture is starting next week. Ican online lecture at Elite Accounting Professionals is starting next week. The timetable is out. The tutors are ready to take you for this diet, ready to guide you to success. So please, if you have not subscribed, if you have not registered, make sure you do so now. Like I said, we also accept installment payment. We accept installment payment. Once you make 70% of your payment, we give you the grace of month end to balance up. After month end, you are expected to make your balance payment. So we have come to the end of this presentation. I don't think there is any other question from anyone in the meeting. Is there any other question from anyone before we call it a day? Okay, so I don't think there is any other question. If there is any other question, you can always reach out to me on WhatsApp, and I'm going to attend to your question. And don't forget, if you need someone to process registration, your exemption, your examination, and also your induction processes, you need a professional, a chartered accountant to assist you. Elite Accounting Professionals is the right place to be. You can reach us out on the number that I've dropped in the group chat. If you need any of our service, like I said, apart from the lectures, we also organize accounting trainings. If you're an accountant in the house, a finance professional, and you need a group of professionals, you need a community where you can network and meet other professionals to also guide you, this institute is the right place to be. So I want to encourage and thank everybody. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for joining today's Ican orientation class being organized by Elite Accounting Professional Service. I hope we have all gotten values from everything that we have done this afternoon. Any further question can be sent to our WhatsApp line. And if you know that you are not on our WhatsApp group page, on the WhatsApp group page, we have a community of finance and accounting professionals where you can, meet with others. If you are not on the platform, you can chat me up on WhatsApp to be added to that platform. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for joining. Do enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye for now. I remain my humble self, Otone Omoni Ipo. Bye for now.